me, can you build some context about Bugasura's marketing efforts? I'm sure from day one or day zero, there would have been some things that you would have done. And there would have been a point where you would have, sat down and said, okay, this is not working. I probably think this is the right direction. Right. Like, can you build that context before we jump into that community?
Sure. So when I joined Bugasura as head of marketing, Pradeep was wearing the PM hat, and he would talk to Mulya's customers or people in his network, and that's how we were doing the entire product roadmap, right? In terms of marketing, we were just running ads on autopilot because honestly, we're still a small team, and Pradeep and Avinash did not just have the time to sit and look at the ad accounts all the time. Even then, I think everything was on autopilot, and the ads accounts were not being optimized, and they were just there. And that's when they also realized we can't scale like this. We need someone dedicated for the marketing so that we can do a proper go-to-market. And at that point, even we were struggling with our GTM also. Although we did have a few 2 or 3 paying customers at that time, and a bunch of free paying users as well. That's also because of how our model is. We have a freemium model. First 5 users free, and from the 6th user onwards, we charge $5 per user.
Okay.
So this was the model, and and it was mostly running on the search ads and nothing else. There was nothing else. There was not much content. And it was not frequent as well. Only thing we were updating was our release notes because we were doing some smaller releases, and those were the things. What I saw when I came in was there was a hesitation, like, will this product work? Why? I think we are being very hesitant about going to market. We're worried if people will say no. And, that's when I sat with Pradeep and Avinash and said, let's not wait for, great feedback to come in. Because then it's a chicken egg problem. What are you chasing, right? Are you chasing feedback, or are you chasing a product roadmap? If you don't know what to build, you need to talk to customers. If you don't have customers, you don't know what to do. It's a chicken egg problem. How do you address this? So I said, let's do this. Let's do a massive launch. How will we do this massive launch? We'll do it on product. So they had tried to do a product hunt launch earlier, but that didn't work out. There were like 2 or 3 upvotes because product hunt is also a strategy.
Of course.
And Mulya itself has about 400 member companies. So I was like, but in my interview discussion itself, I told them, why don't we launch this? If you're really looking to get relevant feedback, why don't we launch this on product hunt? And they said, we tried, but it didn't work out. So I was like, okay, let's try it again. And that's when I came in with the product. On month 1, I joined Bugasura on October 10th. On November 24th was our launch.
Oh, nice.
So in month 1, we launched the product. Why? Because I didn't want to wait. Is the product ready? Let's launch it, because that's when we'll iterate. We'll understand what's the feature. So the product hunt launch was a massive success. That's also because we planned 2 or 3 weeks ahead of it, and it helped that we had a good push from the number of employees we had in India. So we warmed those accounts up.
So I think what happens generally, because Pradeep and they already have Mulya, and a big company with us, and then you have a new product coming in. They require to share their bandwidth, right? And of course, the revenue is flowing from one entity for a very long time. You want to have that focus there, but you also want to do something with the new product that is coming in. So I think this is a very common problem with, I would say, I can say the 2X founders, if they're doing something parallelly, right? Trying to, generally with companies who have a service-based model, and then they are building a product. Because I've seen this earlier in my personal experience also, because everybody is following revenue, right? So you want to keep your focus there. And so it fits in really well that you came in, and then now there is at least one person who understands it and now can put full focus on the product. All right. So product hunt launch happened. How did it go?
It was a raging success, I would say, because we really, really planned this 2-3 weeks ahead of it. As soon as I joined in, I started executing. And I think that is what I think differentiated me for even Pradeep and Avinash, that I started executing from day one. Like one of the posts I think Pradeep wrote, that I came in and there was one person who had not contributed for about 2 months or 3 months, and I said, let's not let's not waste our resources. Let's keep this on hold for now, and let's actually focus on getting the product out, because the problem statement is that you don't know what to do next, and you don't know if this is going to work. So the product hunt launch was extremely interesting for me, because it was also my first product hunt launch. I would like to give a shout out to Abhash from Springworks, because he's the OG product hunter, and he did really help with the entire checklist that he has made. It's one of the resources that I share with whoever tries to come and ask me about product hunt launches. So we did try to start doing that. It helped that we had millions as well to give us a bit of a boost. But and what I did was I also tied it into a bit of an influencer campaign. So identified a bunch of influencers and who can influence decisions for CEOs on LinkedIn and on Twitter, and wrote to them and said that, hey, we're ready to launch and we'd love to have your support. You could put in a nice post about us.
Right.
And on launch day, everyone posted, right? And it was really a big launch.
This is not transaction with the influencers?
No.
Just organic. Just reached out, just help us.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you seen other people doing it? I have not heard this as a strategy for product.
Yes, I hadn't seen it before I did it. I had seen a bunch of people who were just promoting it within their teams, or it happens. So what happens with product hunter? It happens inside community.
Yeah.
Right, like people are discussing.
Yeah.
That. But that's also, those conversations are also about supporting your launch, not about the feedback of the product itself.
Yeah.
And for me, it was very important that I had two goals for this. One, tell everyone that Bugasura is available in the market. You should know about Bugasura. And two, try out the product. Right. So we launched it for free. Said 5 users ke liye waise bhi free hai. I said I'm not going to do anything with the pricing plan or anything yet. Let's launch it this way. And from the launch, we did get revenue as well. We got a big account from the launch, and we got a huge number of free signups as well. And we did see, so the stat that we use to look at our product is we use Lucky Orange, which is like a hotjar, to see how our customers are using the product. And we use Mixpanel to check our events and everything, and obviously Google Analytics at that time for traffic. So we had about an 18 to 20% increase in the traffic as well. So even though I would say it's a small number, it's not a very big number, but it was very relevant. So even if it's a small number, if it's relevant, it's very important, and it's way more relevant to your product. Right? So I think after that launch, it opened a lot of doors for us. And product hunt launches come with their own perks, right? You get placed in newsletters, and you get a lot of free SEO juice out of it. So we did see that happening. And post the launch, I think it gave everybody a confidence. This will work. Let's build this. I think that was something that impacted Pradeep and Avinash's way of looking at the product. And secondly, just after the product hunt launch happened in November, and SaaS was happening in March, and I think that's where this idea happened. Pradeep and I were supposed to go to SaaS, and a week ago or something, he asked me, so we're going to SaaS, we need to talk to more and more founders. How do we do this? So I said, look, everyone is going to be wearing a company t-shirt, or is probably going to be exchanging business cards. Let's do something different. So I said, let's wear this, because anyway, we are like Asuras, right? And horns make sense. Red also. And this costs nothing at 10 rupees.
Of course.
Right? The best thing was Pradeep agreed to do it with me.
Nice.
So I was still marketing head at that time, and I was very happy that. So this is also something that marketers love, right? When your founders are on board with your plan.
That validation. You always are looking for that validation.
Exactly.
Just tell me I'm doing good. I'm taking
good. Exactly. And that's a marketer's occupational hazard. We are always caught in that validation. Mata to chal raha hai ki nahi chal raha hai types, right? So I was very happy that he was on board with this idea, and he wore it. And it was just, no one was doing this, right? Everybody was like, conference. We were like, no, let's make it fun. This became an icebreaker for us. The number of founders we spoke to, the number of connections we made, that itself created, like, everybody knew that the ones with the horns were Bugasura folks, right? And I think Pradeep's LinkedIn was blowing up. My LinkedIn also was blowing up. And it helped that I met a lot of founders over there. There were a lot of marketing and sales folks as well. But the quality of people that I met there set some blocks for me as a foundation of it. Right? I learned a lot from the conversations that I had with the founders there. Different types of SaaS people have been building, different types of GTM strategies, what were they doing. One thing that I noticed was everybody's playbook is the same. Yep. Ishan, I can't tell you, everybody is doing the same outbound, same SLG or PLG, right? Yeah, what is it different that I can do? And for me, because I knew my ICP is not someone who will get on a call. Yeah. So how do I build familiarity? So that was very important for me to do. And that's when I thought, okay, we need to take a turn at this point. Because yes, Product Hunt launched great, gave us a lot of free publicity, gave us a lot of visibility, really opened it up. So I feel that Bugasura as a brand is there. Right. But Bugasura as a product has to grow. It still has to grow. Right. And how do I make sure that I'm actually living up to the brand that I have created? How do I make sure that I build a product that is going to solve a problem that people really face? Yeah. And that's when we decided we'll go the community. And incidentally, around that time, OpenAI just blew up right around April, May, March, around that time. And that's when I thought that we position ourselves as a modern bug tracker, right? And if the story or the pitch is this, that we've been using Jira for a very long time because it's a legacy tool, because there were no other options for you at that. And like I said, CTOs, PMs, right? They've been using this, like the first job that they did, they used Jira. So they're like, Jira works, let's keep using it. But Jira, does it work for bug tracking? No. So the bug tracking market itself is very siloed, right? There are tools that do only monitoring. There are tools that do only capturing or feedback management. But how do we tie that in together? And then there are project management tools that most people double it up as. So, but project management tools don't give you the context that a bug actually needs, or like what are the different sources that they're coming from, and who is supposed to look at it? How do you prioritize it? These are some of the problems that I found out when I started talking to my ICP, right? And I understood, and this has all happened through networks and through referrals, right? It didn't happen through a cold email or through a phone call, right? Because I've realized that this is not good. And that's when I decided, I think we need to build a community. And how do we feed the community? So I brought in a friend and of mine, and I've been working with him even at Instamojo. His name is Saurabh. And Saurabh from Success Group. And he introduced me to Vashish. And Vashish has been building communities. He's a volunteer for Head Start, etc. And, we sat down and we chatted about how should we go about the community. Even before I did this community, I did build a community for Instamojo as well. There were WhatsApp groups for SMEs where we would, they would